Alright, what's going on everyone? I'm back with a new video. So today I just wanted to break down for you guys a trade that took place on Wednesday, I believe, the 2nd of March. So I'm just going to replay it and go over a bit of the confluences that occurred and why it was such a good trade probability wise and risk reward wise. So I'm just in the replay mode right now, as I said, but as usual, let's just start by looking at the long-term time frames and obviously a bit of liquidity concepts. So yeah, in terms of LTF, there was not much change. We were mainly balancing. Obviously, this is not on replay. I believe this is not on replay. So we were balancing on the daily, balancing on the weekly, and on the monthly as well. So not much confidence in this, just a good indication. And as I talked about in the last video as well, this was the same thing. We ran over this sell stops or this old low here, and we were looking to fill in this this liquidity void here. So this was actually the day I'm talking about, I believe, or maybe not. Let me just check. So this was the no, this was the following day. So it actually filled the following day, but eventually it did fill this liquidity void here, so I can remove it. But yeah, as I said, we're just ran the sell stops and then continued to one time frame higher. And now we're kind of in a 5 day kind of balance here. So yeah, balance will apply, but this was obviously not the most interesting thing behind this trade. Obviously, we must look at the market profile. So the first thing you may notice here is that we kind of had this 3-day balance, but what I marked it as was a 2-day balance in which the third day actually failed to auction below left excess and then closed significantly back in balance. So as we know, according to balance rules destinations, well, the ultimate destination becomes the balance high, which is obviously this this balance high here at 43.85 roughly. So that was kind of our ultimate destination. But also obviously we had a lot of poor structure towards the upside. So prior 2 sessions prior, we actually repaired one of these, which is a weak high here. So I talked about it in probably 2 weeks ago when we were kind of one time framing down with all of this weak structure going on. I was talking about all of these highs here that may create a firecracker effect, and we may repair some of this upside structure. So yeah, that was there. Obviously, that poor high here. So my blue lines obviously have poor highs or weak highs. In this case, it was a poor high, 1 TPO of excess. We were looking to repair that with cash session excess. We obviously also had this failed POC here, and a couple of low volume areas here to fill as well. So a very interesting thing was if you, I think I've shared my plan, but I'm not sure. My plan essentially for this day, I'm just gonna pull it up. So my plan, I had actually 2 plans for this, but one of them was a bit more probable, I would say. Okay, there you go. So this is ES. This was the plan for ES. So this was the main plan I was looking for, and this was kind of another possibility. Usually when I put a kind of a question mark here, is that it's something that may occur, but we need to wait for a bit more market generated information in order to take that trade. So yeah, obviously the first setup was simply opening above the afternoon rally high, rejecting, so finding no acceptance below, therefore we're inferring that we may have bullish change, and then continuing towards our upside destinations. And if you take a look at the profile in Apiary, which I'm going to replay right now, I'll just put it on 30 speed. There you go. I'm going to skip a bit, and this is exactly what occurred. So if we take a closer look here, right before, like 2 minutes before the market opened, I was really hoping that we could get above this afternoon rally high in order for me to get this trade. And obviously I think it was like a minute or something before we actually pushed up and eventually opened above this rally high, which was absolutely perfect. If you compare with the plan right here, it's exactly kind of the thing we were expecting. However, you'll notice that we don't actually get towards these first destinations right away. However, we do get towards above, I'm sorry, the overnight high, which isn't enough in my eyes. And also, if you take a look at the title, this is about 20 points in 15 minutes or so. Because I know when I did that 35 points in 15 minutes, something like that, some people were saying that it's fake. It was back in December. Guys, if I say that there's a certain number of points that was made in that time interval, just go back on your charts and look at the candles. So I'll just show you guys. So this was the second. Alright, so if you took the entry in this area, say 24, 25, somewhere around there, we obviously need to get to above 35 for me to say that it's 20 points, and it's actually more than 20 points. So yeah, people that are saying that, just go check your charts. I mean, I can't help you. Like, just check your charts, do your own analysis, and yeah. But yeah, anyways, just going back to this. So yeah, there you go. So as I said, we may not actually get to these final destinations. However, once we start kind of losing tempo here. It's a good sign to get out. And obviously this was kind of some weird action here going on, and you'll see that eventually we do get above that poor high and start repairing it. So yeah, just speed it up a bit. So as you see, we kind of get below that, which is obviously it's obviously past my entry, but if you got an exit there, it's alright. So let's just speed it up. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there you go. The period starts aggressively one time framing higher, and eventually we get really close to it, and we may actually repair it. Let's see. Yep, there you go. So our poor high actually got repaired, as we expected in the pre-market plan. However, I'm not sure I've went over every single factor that led to this trade, but the only thing I would like you guys to remember is that when you get such a reference like a spike base or an afternoon rally high or pullback low, well, these are very, very, very significant references, and I would highly recommend you guys pay close attention to the market in those days, because those references are extremely powerful, yet relatively unpopular amongst non-market profile traders. So this is an advantage we have with this type of tool. As you can see, it respected it pretty neatly below this green line here. And I'll just kind of show you guys why I was also talking about the overnight inventory going into this day, because obviously if we get something like this and we get a quick repair towards the downside, usually we would like our overnight inventory to be mainly long above settlement. Why? Because we've talked about this a couple of times, that your initial move will most likely be some sort of repair to overnight inventory, so about 70%. I'd like to think of it as manipulation, not like in a bad way, just smart money manipulation, which we can use to our advantage, knowing that it's essentially you probably move for accumulation of longs to obviously seek for higher prices and liquidity. So yeah, just think of it. I personally think of it like that. And as I've mentioned in the past videos, I always look at my probability model, which I talked about in the mentorship. Probability model needs to be above 4, and 4 or above. In this case, it was 4, making it a valid trade. So in the probability model, obviously included all the downside factors, which ideally should be 0. But yeah, and as I said, I'm also working on a kind of a sort of a refined type of entry, which was verified in this date type here. Let me show you guys, it was completely verified here. Kind of worked the second time, but this is not. I would have never taken that trade here. So yeah, let me see if I have something else to discuss. So regarding the second trade I was probably looking for was an open inside of this value area here, and then looking for some sort of A period overnight repair towards the downside, hitting the spike base, then coming back up. But obviously did not occur, which is fine, obviously, because this trade was a bit better, as I've mentioned from the pre-market plan. But in that case, if you want to see non-trend signals, I would rather see them in A or B period, not later than B period, because if the market really wants to fill its singles, it will most likely do it relatively fast. So so guys, don't hesitate to join the Discord. I'll probably post some references this weekend. I'll do some analysis and I'll keep you guys updated. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.